Hello and welcome to the Undead Celluloid Society's podcast. My name is Michael,
And I'm Rachel.
and today we are covering the 2007 film Lake Placid 2. If you really wanted more crocodiles in your life, this one delivers. Just a fair warning.
Times two. There's not only two. There were two in the first one, right?
Yeah, that one shows up at the end.
Yeah, now there's four.
There are four. Double the croc action. Um, we get more of the lake. It's pretty much the same lake. But basically, this is the same movie as the first one. Minor differences. There's no Betty White anymore. It's her sister, who is meaner than her and more evil.
Yeah, she feeds people instead of cattle to the crocodiles.
Yeah, her crocodiles. Their social security checks are not what they were, so she can't afford to raise cattle, and she just lures people to the dock and just shoves them the fuck in.
Or she just waits for them to just swim up to the dock and then eat them.
That's true. It happened to the reporter guy, but she was going to push that chicken. Yeah,
She was.
she was trying hard.
All because she called the crocodiles ugly.
They were ugly. These crocodiles don't look good compared
No.
to the crocodiles in Lake Placid 1. If you can believe that, it doesn't have the same budget. This is a sci-fi channel original sequel to Lake Placid. I remember when this first came out, they made a big deal about it.
Yeah.
It was like Lake Placid 2. It's like the sequel. They premiered it on a Saturday night at like 8 or 9 o'clock, and in the lead up to Lake Placid 2, they played crocodile and alligator movies all day.
Of course they did.
They were, and as you can expect from a sci-fi film, they don't look good.
No, very CGI heavy on this one.
It looks
not even good CGI.
No, it looks worse than like a PlayStation 1 game.
Yeah.
Those crocs, but with that though, we do see the crocs in action more.
Yeah.
They're doing it a lot more in this movie. Maybe because it's not a 30-foot animatronic.
Yeah.
But
They didn't spend all their money on the crocodile. They
also doesn't seem like they spend a lot of money on the cast either. Some of those guys are oof.
Listen, the main actor, he was the dad in Smallville.
Yeah, he's
Robert
okay.
Schneider.
John Schneider.
John Schneider. And he was one of the Dukes of Hazzard boys from the 90s.
Yeah, both of those things mean nothing to me. I've never watched either of those things. The dad's fine. The son's fine. But the chick that the sheriff's son is into with the dog, her friends suck. Thad. There's one of them named Thad. Ironically, before Blue Mountain State came out. Yeah. But he acts like a Thad.
He acts worse than Thad, I think.
Just a Thad in general.
Yeah.
If someone's named Thad, no offense to any of our Thad fans out there, it's like Chad, but with a T. It is actually Chad with a T.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. This movie's Lake Placid 1, but with shitty CGI, and there's more characters.
They all die.
They do all die. There's more death in this than in the last one.
Yeah, within like the first 30 minutes, half of the crew. The one environmentalist guy dies immediately within the first 5 minutes, just like the first one. And then the deputy sheriff and the second environmental guy die. Mm-hmm. And then the reporter that the old lady lures to the dock to feed the crocodile.
In the first 30 minutes, more people die in this movie than in Lake Placid 1.
There's another rich guy who...
Is he rich?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, guess he has a plane and a freaking grenade launcher somehow. And the sheriff is like, you have permits for all those guns. Like, where are you going to get a permit for a freaking grenade launcher at?
But yeah, so then his employee dies.
Basically slave.
Yeah. He treats this man like absolute crap.
I'm still going back and forth if that African accent is legitimate or not. because it doesn't sound very good. You know,
I don't know. I don't know
I'm
many
gonna
African accents.
I'm gonna look it up. It just sounds generic though.
Yeah, but basically, this rich guy. What was his name again?
The rich guy,
Yeah.
the Irish dude. I don't know what that guy's name was. Did it ever say
Oh,
his name?
Struthers.
Yeah,
so
that's it.
basically, Struthers saved this guy from a lion when he was in Africa, and to honor the saving, which he's not a very good shot, so it took him 4 shots just to save the guy, and he ended up shooting Ahmad twice anyway. He decided to, become employed by Struthers for like 14 years, and then Ahmad saved Struthers' life from the crocodile and was like, my debt to you is paid. You're not grateful. You're basically a shitty human being. It's great. I like those moments.
Yeah, he isn't African. His name is Joe Holt, by the way, and he is from Tokyo, Japan. Random, but yeah, he's definitely fake African accent.
Well, his what is it called, an accent coach or something? His voice coach wasn't
Rachel.
helpful.
They didn't have a voice coach on
He
this
might
movie.
have. No, not the movie, the actor.
Oh, maybe, but he paid for that out of his own pocket.
Yeah, he did.
I'm sure that the check for this movie wasn't a lot.
Yeah, budget of $2 million compared to the 27 million from Lake Placid 1.
27 to 35, it said.
Oh,
so
well,
somewhere in there.
Yeah. So
it shows though.
It definitely shows. Even the plane, like sitting on the lake, was CGI.
Oh,
like they could only rent it for so many hours, so they had to CGI the rest.
Everything in this movie is just shittier versions of stuff from the first one.
Yeah.
The plane's shittier and not real. The boat is shitty, also not real. It's like an inflatable boat. That's what it looks like at one point.
The first boat. Very first boat, and then which got just ripped to shreds.
Shocker.
And then the second. What even happened to the second boat?
They covered it in blood to lure the crocodile in, and then the dumbass Struthers Irish guy is like flying the plane over to like provide like an aerial vantage point to see where the crocodile is at, and then Ahmad has a harpoon that he's going to shoot at the crocodile, and for some reason they like miscommunicate, and Struthers wants to kill the crocodile himself. So when Ahmad fires his harpoon, the dumbass in the plane flies the plane low as he can to the lake and intercepts the harpoon and then flies up, and it just destroys both the plane and the boat.
Yeah, and then they all end up in the water, and of course the crocodile's coming after them. And no, that wasn't the part when Dallas was making fun of them for being Olympic swimmers.
Oh, that was the first boat that got destroyed.
But
yeah, these people teleport. We're bouncing all over the fucking place.
We really
this movie.
are.
But there's a point. I mean, the movie doesn't. It's nothing new. There's a point where they're in the lake. The sheriff, the fishing. Yeah. No. This is before he got there. It's the sheriff. It's the fish and wildlife lady.
Emma.
And I thought you said Ahmad. I'm sorry.
No, Emma.
And then the guy in the red hat. I don't even remember what his name is. The from the very beginning.
The environmentalist guy.
Yes, they get flung.
No idea.
They get flung.
Frank.
Did you just make that up?
No, I don't think so. I think the sheriff said it when he walked into the sheriff's office. He's like, "Oh, hey, Frank."
I'm looking at the cast now. That guy's name is Frank. For some reason, it has a girl in a mask as his picture.
Oh.
That's weird.
That is weird. Yeah, Frank.
Frank, yeah.
Frank. Oh, poor Frank.
So they get flung off the boat, and the sheriff and the fish and wildlife lady look around, and then they're in the middle of the lake, and they look around, and then Frank is just at the shore, like he just teleported there or something.
He swims so fast.
Yeah, he swam so fast. He wait, he just gone.
And then the other two are swimming so slow it looks like they're not even moving.
Yeah.
And then they also then teleport to shore.
This is the crocodile coming at them, moving as slow as it possibly can. They made a big deal about it being that the sun made a big deal about how fast it was on land and on sea. Well, it's really picky and choosy about how. I guess it depends on which one it is. There's too many crocodiles in this movie. They all have names, by the way, too.
Martha Stewart.
Martha Stewart is the big hoss lady.
George.
Sorry.
Sorry, guys. Cat. George Jr.
George
who
yes.
is named after the president because he's slow.
I don't really get that reference.
And then there was what was the first one she said?
That's a good question.
George Jr., Martha Stewart, and oh my gosh, I completely forgot. But anyway, so yeah, Betty White's sister named them and literally thinks of them as her children, to the point where she gets so offended when the girl, the sheriff's son, Scott, it's the girl he likes. What's her name?
Which girl?
The girl that Scott likes.
Which one's Scott?
The sheriff's son.
I don't know what her name is Emma. No. Carrie.
Oh my god. Sorry, guys. So
to be fair, they don't do a very good job of telling us their names. They just randomly say them sometimes, and that's it.
Like I had to turn on subtitles to figure out Thad's name was Thad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Carrie calls the crocodiles big ugly monsters, and Betty White's sister gets so offended she decides she's gonna feed Carrie to the crocodile.
Yeah, she's like, "Hey, come out with me to the dock so Scott can fix my light or something," and then she's going to.
Yeah, and then she like holds her like in the back of the neck and starts pushing her towards the end of the dock. She's like, "I want to show you something."
Perch, yeah.
Yeah, look at these perch. Aren't they beautiful? And she's like, "I don't want to be here anymore." Understandably, because
and she's like, "Bitch, get in the water."
Yeah, she's crazy. She scared me. But I mean, when the sheriff introduced her in the beginning, Emma was like, "Let me talk to the sweet old lady," and he's like, "She is not sweet.
Not sweet.
She's not a lady, but she is old.
She's old.
Yeah.
She's Betty White's sister.
Yeah, she's. Yeah.
That's all that needs to be said. Betty White's character in.
She was the grandma from Beer Fest.
The lady in this one?
Yeah.
Is she?
Yeah.
I've never watched Beer Fest.
Oh my gosh! Okay, we're watching that. But yeah, no, she was the dirty old grandma from Beer Fest.
Well, she plays a dirty old grandma in this movie too.
I don't mean that kind of dirty.
No, evil grandma. She's got like that basement of torture down there. She's got those knives and axes and
that's
shit.
sadistic. No,
Where'd she get GMO beef? By the way, that's not approved by the FDA.
It was like the beef that they couldn't sell at the stores because there's way too much like growth hormones pumped into them.
Do stores get that?
Oh.
I feel like it doesn't make it to that process before.
I don't know. Maybe she knew a farm. I don't know.
I thought she was just lying and they were chopped up bodies. I could be wrong. She's feeding a lot of people to it.
Wouldn't surprise me. She's very feral.
I wonder if Betty White's character gets eaten by the crocs, because it says that she dies, but they don't know what killed her. Whenever they first get there.
I thought they said that she got eaten by something.
So
or she fell in the river, the lake or something.
She got eaten by this crocodile.
Definitely.
That's what happens when you feed wild animals, people. You have a high chance of getting eaten by them when they're adults.
Fatal attractions.
Yes. You have a high chance of getting eaten by them at some point when they're adults if you don't feed them.
Yeah, it's like the old lady who was feeding the bear, and the bear ended up eating her. Like real life.
I believe that.
Yeah. Um, but no, then so Mrs. Blythe, the old Betty White's sister,
Betty White's sister. We'll just
ends
call her
up
that.
getting eaten by the crocodile herself.
She does, but that's because she gets shoved in the water.
No, it jumped up and grabbed her.
I thought she got shoved in the water.
No.
Yeah, because he throws the ladder at her.
I don't think he threw it at her. I
Thought
think
he
he was
did.
throwing it at the crocodile.
Oh, I thought he was going straight for that old lady.
The crocodile definitely jumped up and like tried to eat her.
Who do you think the worst character in this movie is? Because to me, it's that redhead dude.
Oh, Larry.
Larry.
Larry and Thad are best friends.
They might be gay.
They got really.
They got really intimate in that water.
In that water, yes.
They were like they hug,
you know
and then
that
they
would make so much sense.
They kind of like pulled back like this, like they wanted to like
right, but
feel each
because
other
they
up.
have such Larry and Thad are like two town boys who Thad is dating Carrie for
Are they dating?
Pretty sure he acted like they were. She just called him an idiot all the time, but they were such douchebags. Like, it almost was like they were forcing it. I mean, I think it's just written poorly. But if you want to think about it from a deeper level, you know, thinking not poorly written and written on purpose, they could totally have just been overcompensating because they were really in love with each other.
They seemed very in love with each other. They made some gay jokes too. This is mid 2000s, so everything is like, it's cool. It's like when that, what was it, Lindsay Lohan and Britney Spears had that commercial about saying it's not cool to say things are gay.
I did not really know that was a commercial.
It was a commercial. Yeah, it was a commercial, like telling you not to say, "Oh, that's gay," because it's offensive to a group of people. I think it's Lindsay Lohan.
I don't know.
Maybe it's Hillary Duff. I don't know. I don't know. But this is peak mid 2000s comedy. So like they're like making like gay jokes. There's also like this dynamic of they try to make it a dynamic, but it doesn't work very well. Of like rural small town versus like city boy, because Scott is a city boy. Mm-hmm. Doesn't really work out that well. No, because it gets brought up like twice. Also, those guys seem way more out of their element than he does.
Right
out there, they seemed like they had no idea what was going on. They had no survival instincts whatsoever.
None whatsoever. Like Thad, he dies because he starts breaking all of Martha Stewart's eggs, and and crocodiles, I guess, are in the movie. They said they're very territorial, and so she comes and she eats Thad. Actually, she didn't even eat him. She just murdered him and left him there to die because the sheriff and Emma go back to they find the nest. His name is Zarif. It's supposed to say sheriff. Okay, his name's James.
Yeah.
Google has sheriff spelled Xerife. Anyway,
I've just looked up the director for this, David Flores.
I told you that earlier.
I know. I was looking up his works.
Oh, okay.
So he is known for such hits as Dragon Dynasty, Phantom Force, Dragon Storm, Maximum Velocity, Deep Shock. These are all sci-fi movies, by the way. Silent Warnings, Dragon Fighter. He really went through a dragon phase. Python 2. He's an editor on Python 2. Boa. He also apparently those are things. These are all things he edited, not directed. I'm sorry. Those are things that. Okay, let's see what he directed. Sands of Oblivion, Crimson Force. He directed Boa versus Python.
Did he really?
Yeah, remember that movie?
Yeah.
That fever dream of a movie?
That
Boa
was
versus Python is the Avengers of snake movies. So they say. Also,
so
it has
they
Elkins,
say.
West Virginia in it.
I don't remember that.
That's where they got the boa at.
Oh, you're right. They did. Yep.
But yeah, so old David, he's made a sci-fi career. You know what? Doesn't really seem like a bad gig. I mean, if
Yeah,
it's
but you
steady
probably
work.
don't make a lot of money off of it, do you?
I mean, you probably wouldn't make like what a normal director would make, but you probably
Yeah.
make like okay money, I'd say, right? Be better than working like $20 an hour laying concrete or something.
That's true.
And he gets to direct stuff.
Yeah.
Also, he puts a lot of boobies in his movies, so
Which there were none in this one.
we don't know if we watched the unrated version or not, though. This
I don't
girl,
think
like,
we did.
I don't think we did either because it was surprisingly tame.
Michael's hoping for boobs, guys.
There's only like 3 girls in the whole movie. 4 girls if you count the old lady, but we don't because the
5
sheriff.
if you count the other deputy sheriff.
6 if you count Martha.
We're not counting Martha. We're not counting Martha. Yeah, you got Carrie, Emma, the old lady,
Sheriff
the
lady.
sheriff lady. No, that was it. So there's 4.
But are any of them as bitchy as Bridget Fonda at the beginning?
Oh, and
of Lake
Rachel.
Placid?
Why is their names always Rachel?
Which one's Rachel?
Rachel was the one who died in the bikini.
Oh yeah, she took her top off for like 2 seconds, but we didn't see it because she was like this.
She put her book over it, or a magazine, or whatever.
She had her hands like this too.
Oh, but
Why even take your top off if you're gonna do that?
because they do it in Europe. Remember, and the guys were like, "Oh, we're definitely going there."
Yeah, because they had to go. They want to go to a topless beach.
And then they both die.
You don't even have to go to Europe to go to a topless beach.
Okay, whose death do you think was the funniest?
I want. Oh, Frank's. Frank doesn't even get eaten. He gets
Poor Frank.
the sheriff's deputy is tying a Boy Scout knot around the sedated crocodile's snout, and then it breaks off. Surprisingly, breaks out of the rope, eats the dude, and then flings its tail back. Hits Frank. Frank hits a tree, falls like 2 feet, and dies.
He fell into the pit.
There wasn't anything down there. It was like a 3-foot pit. They put a turtle in there as bait.
He flew like up though.
Not that far.
But honestly, though, that was like everyone else died because it's crocodiles, and he just gets hit into a tree.
Well, technically it's crocodile's fault. He didn't get eaten though.
Yeah, it was the most underwhelming death. I think Larry's death was the funniest.
Larry's death.
Red
Oh, when he falls on top of the alligator.
They climb. Larry, Carrie,
Harry.
Larry, Carrie, and Scott climb a tree to get away from Martha Stewart, and they're falling asleep because they're stayed up.
Oh!
Michael, they've stayed up there all night, and so Scott wakes Larry up so that Scott can go to sleep, and Larry's like, "Yeah, no, I'm awake, and
he's like, ugh.
Yeah,
His
so
eyes aren't even open.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have fallen asleep. But anyway, so he falls asleep again, falls backwards off the tree, and he's like laughing. That was really weird. He just starts laughing. He's like, "Guys, this ground is really soft." Mm-hmm. And Scott's like, "Larry, don't move. That's not the ground." And he's like hitting. He landed on the crocodile. And he's like hitting it, and Scott's like, "Don't do that." He's such an idiot.
Well, to be fair, too, the croc is like surprisingly tame when it falls on him. When he falls on the croc.
Yeah, and it's just like you can see its little eye like looking back at him. Like,
was it? I didn't.
It's like a little green thing beside a bunch of other dark green things. So it's really hard to see.
You have a better eye than I do.
But yeah, it's just like looking back at him, like, you fucked up. You're dead now. So he tries to run, and it gets him.
I hate his outfit.
His outfit?
Yeah, what he's wearing. He looks stupid.
He's wearing a wife beater?
He wasn't wearing a wife beater. He was like a tattered up tank top shirt. It looked like a shirt that was long sleeved at one point, and he just tore the sleeves
So
off.
cut off. Oh,
Yeah,
I
it
wasn't
looked
paying that
horrible.
much.
It looked stupid.
I wasn't paying attention to
His
the
outfit's
wardrobe.
dumb. I don't like Larry. I don't like his tattoo either.
What tattoo? I didn't even notice any of this.
That like super collared tattoo on his left arm. Wow, yeah, it's dumb.
Do you have any more complaints?
He gives redheads a bad name.
Oh no, you could totally tell his hair was dyed.
Oh yeah, it was super red.
It was like
That's what I'm saying.
It was like super dark red and then like pastel orange on his roots.
Was that popular in 2007 or something?
Yeah, I think so.
For girls, maybe,
No,
but like for guys,
too, yeah.
I thought
But
guys
also,
were.
they might have done it for the movie.
What? Why he had to be a redhead?
I don't know. Why did Thad's name have to be Thad?
I don't know. Names are different than like being like, oh, give this guy
to
red
be
hair.
fair, his full name was Thaddeus.
Yeah, that didn't fit him either.
No.
That's too sophisticated of a name for that guy. Yeah. As you can expect, the main characters don't get eaten when they should get eaten. Scott should have been eaten several times. Didn't get eaten.
I don't know. He was the only smart one.
Well, he was the last one to climb up that tree, though. And it was like right there.
Yeah, that's true too.
So the main characters
the dog didn't get eaten.
Yeah.
Carrie has a dog, a
Daisy.
German Shepherd named Daisy.
She was a sweet.
She didn't get eaten.
She's the best part of the movie.
And at the end, Daisy comes running. They thought the crocodile had gotten her, and Carrie's like loving on her, like, oh my gosh, you did such a good girl, or good, you did so good. And Scott's like, maybe I should have faked my death so I'd get some attention.
Then they instantly start making out. So
so
didn't have to fake your death, Scott.
No, he didn't have to fake his death.
But there's no reason for them to think that the dog got eaten by a crocodile, though. They don't see the dog get like attacked. Oh no, it does. It crawls underneath the one alligator, and he's like, Carrie's like, but Daisy, and Scott's like, she'll be fine. Let's go.
We'll come back for her.
Yeah, they didn't. They just got the fuck out of there.
I'd have gone back for Daisy.
You probably would have gotten in.
Probably.
And Daisy would have still
been
alive.
But also, did they not know the whole zigzag thing, or is that a myth?
What's the exact thing?
Like,
but
if
how
a
to like it?
crocodile chasing you, don't you zigzag?
I don't know. Do you?
I heard that. I don't know if I need to look this up.
Maybe you should just climb a tree like those guys did.
I can't climb.
Oh, well, you're screwed.
I have no upper body strength. None.
Yeah. They kill all the crocodiles. That we know of.
Except for the eggs.
Except for the eggs. They take the eggs. They're going to study them in some lab somewhere. I thought that she actually left them because when she opened that thing, that bag looked empty.
They're probably deep.
She was like rubbing on them and stuff too. It was weird. So the first alligator gets killed by a mod who Warrior jumps on top of it and stabs it a bunch with a machete, and then he roids out on it and goes, ah!
Yeah.
They kill it, then they cook it and eat it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next one
gets blown in the face, right?
Blown in the face?
Yeah, blown up.
By
like,
what?
He shot the grenade launcher at its face.
Yeah. Don't forget, there's a grenade launcher. They blow it to smithereens. Mm-hmm. Then
the third one gets Emma gets chased into like the trunk of a downed tree, and the crocodile crocodile climbs on top of it, and she takes a machete and just shoves it up, and it dies.
That's all that it takes to kill these things.
Yeah.
Then the last one gets
C4
and the grenade launcher.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of explosions in this movie, and they don't look good. Also, the dart gun they used to tranquilize it was definitely a paintball gun. It looked like a paintball gun.
I don't know what a tranquilizer gun looks like, though, so it could have been legit. I mean, they did have a grenade launcher.
Yeah, well, sure, that thing was real.
Never know.
Oh, my gosh. All right, so that's Lake Placid 2. Sorry we didn't really go into a linear description of this movie. To be fair, the movie itself is kind of just all over the place.
Yeah, and it was just like a copy paste of Lake Placid 1.
Do you think Lake Placid 3 is going to be copy paste of this as well?
I hope it's not following in the trend of the Leprechaun series.
Well, where they get just more ridiculous as they go along.
No, it's just the same thing happens basically until you get to space. Literally the same thing. It's the same movie.
The third one's good.
The third one is good. This one in space is my favorite, but
don't worry, he goes to the hood after that. So we're gonna get Crocodile in the hood, Crocodile in space. You know, it wouldn't shock me, but it wouldn't be Lake Placid then because it'd be Space Placid. It is black out there.
Or Hood Placid.
Hood Placid. Now we're getting a little too close to some stuff we shouldn't. Yeah, I really hope that the third one is a little different. Maybe we don't need to have an old lady feeding crocodiles in that one, but probably will. It's also a sci-fi movie.
It's not gonna be in there at all, or it's going to be even like more ridiculous.
Yeah,
where she's actually murdering people.
This lady's actually murdering people.
I mean, no, she's letting the crocodiles murder them. Like this one's gonna be like taking like a hacksaw, cutting these people's heads off, and then dumping them in the lake, or putting them in a freezer.
We'd have to see how that would hold up in court, but she'd definitely be acquitted of them. She'd definitely be convicted of the murders.
But she could also. She didn't see the crocodile eat him.
She tried to shove that one girl in there. If she would have succeeded, that would have been murder.
She did.
Yeah, I agree. It's either going to be the exact same movie, or it's going to be so far out of like left field that I have no idea what's going on. And I kind of hope it's so far out of left field I have no idea what's going on.
It'd give us something more to talk about.
It would. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Lake Placid 2. Do you have any special thoughts you want to give before we rate this movie?
No, I think we've said all that there needs to be said.
All right. Well, movie production rating, pretty quick and easy one for me. I want to give it a 1 out of 5. This is Lake Placid, but just cheaper.
Yeah.
Sci-fi Lake Placid. That's a 1 out of 5 for me.
I'm gonna give it a 1.5 just because the CGI was really bad, but I thought the acting was actually pretty good.
Okay.
Like, and they had the main character,
the guy from Smallville.
Yeah, and the old lady, really liked her. They had some pretty decent. Okay, besides Thad and Larry and Rachel, they had some pretty decent actors in there.
Those guys existed just to get eaten.
They were the comedic relief.
Except we didn't laugh, unfortunately.
Oh, well, I mean, I laughed when Larry died.
You also laughed when you learned Thad's name.
I did. I had to rewind. But, yeah, so it's going to get a 1.5.
Okay. As for likability for me, I'll give it a 1.5.
Okay.
I was going to be mean and give it a 1, but it wasn't the worst thing that we've watched. It's also far from the best thing that we've watched. There's just not enough that sets it apart from Lake Placid 1 for me. The only thing I think that I liked about the movie was the Ahmad character.
Really?
Yeah, he's kind of cool, even if he's doing that fake African accent. I mean, he kills a crocodile with a machete.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll give it a 1.5. So that's a total of 2.5 out of 10 for me. Wow. Kind of close to what its Rotten Tomatoes score.
Rotten Tomatoes was 3.7.
Oh shoot, not as high as Rotten Tomatoes.
No. I think I'm gonna give it a 1.5 again. Because I wouldn't watch it again, but I liked the characters, I guess, even though it was just kind of like a copy and paste. But I also could have done without the whole Thad and Larry duo.
Did you like the increased crocodiles? Like how many there were?
Yeah. It and Betty White's sister telling them that there's only 3.
She did. She deceived them.
Oh, yeah.
We never even got to that guy's name. The 4th croc.
Oh, yeah, no, we didn't get his name.
We also don't remember what the first one's name was either, to be fair.
Nope, George Jr., Martha Stewart, and...
It's something dumb like Leonard or something. I made that up.
You totally made that up.
Well, if we ever find out what the first crocodile's name again is, we will let you know. I should have wrote that down. I knew whenever that came up, I was like, man, I need to. But anyways, that's our thoughts on Lake Placid 2. We really appreciate you guys tuning in for the second week of our Creature Feature Summer. I hope you're looking forward to watching this dumbass crocodile fight a big ass snake, because that's where we're headed at the end. Um, we're going to do for our next episode. I don't know if we'll release it as a full length episode um, on Wednesday, but we're going to do a little special episode in between just to kind of break up the alligators or crocodiles. Sorry, just break up the creature features. We're going to go for you '90s kids a little blast the past. We're going to cover some Goosebumps episodes.
Oh yes, because I've never seen Goosebumps.
Rachel's never seen Goosebumps, and I got the freaking haunted mask right here.
Oh yeah, we got our
we
little
got Pop Funkos. These are
Funko Pops.
Whatever.
Are we gonna go through this again?
Does it say that?
Yes, it says Funko Pop.
Well, Pop is first. This first thing I see. These are our avatars. As you see, our set is falling down around us. But yeah, this is me in real life, and that is what Rachel looks like without makeup.
Basically, I do have rosacea, so do have a red tinted face.
But we really thank you guys. We really thank you guys for listening. We really appreciate the support, all the love. Bear with us through these Lake Placid and Anaconda movies. Who knows? Maybe we'll come out of this really appreciating both series. But I think that we're going to start off strong with both and then end very flatly. But until next time, all you little cellulites out there, my name is Michael.
And I'm Rachel.
And we thank you guys for listening.